Well, Chafe is a professor of American history at Duke University in North Carolina. He's the author of a number of books, including Private Lives, Public Consequences, Personality and Politics in Modern America. Bill Chafe is in Australia as a guest of the United States Studies Centre at the University of Sydney, and I spoke to him a short time ago.
I think it's kind of crazy, and probably most people think it's kind of crazy, the notion of intruding on someone's private space, even though you're living in your own house next door to it. It seems to me kind of frivolous.
Do we learn anything from this kind of investigation that we didn't know?
Unless you believe in ESP being somehow made more easy by living close to someone, I don't believe so. I think it's kind of crazy.
I mean, the book labels her unethical, a drug-using clown, a nitwit, a rabid wolf, a lap dancer. Will this kill her prospects, or does it just entrench people's positions on either side, for or against?
You know, I think that one of the problems we have in America about Sarah Palin is we've stopped taking her seriously, and this book clearly does not take her seriously. That's not helpful. I think we need to examine what does she believe, what has she said, whatever her positions on a whole variety of critical issues. And this kind of book basically dismisses her literally as a rogue, and that's crazy.
Well, let's look at that, what she stands for, because she's quite happily stood apart from the other Republican candidates in not having to present what she stands for. When does she have to nominate to have a go at the presidency?
I think she has to be in there within the next 2 months, because she has to be accountable to what other people are saying and how she's going to respond to these issues. Republican debates, as you know, have highlighted things like Social Security, immigration, the way in which we relate to places like Israel and the rest of the world. She is basically getting away with not having to comment on those questions. And it's important that she be held accountable, as she was during the 2008 race, when she did not stand up very well under examination. As you recall, Katie Couric's interview with her exposed the fact that she didn't really know very much at all what she was talking about.
And launched Tina Fey's career. In the interim, how much has she damaged the Romney and particularly the Perry candidacies by just hanging around?
I don't think she's really had very much of an impact. I think she's there as a kind of incipient threat. It's kind of like you've got a landmine ready to explode, but no one's stepping on it. And I think that the question is it going to explode? Is she going to enter the race? Will she then become someone who Rick Perry has to compete with in terms of making outrageous statements such as Social Security is a Ponzi scheme?
Because they are seen to be, to some extent, fellow travellers.
Yes, I
Perry
think so.
And Palin.
Yes.
But clearly she's already positioning herself as having a division with Rick Perry.
Yes, but I think that she's doing that, and she clearly has a division with Romney. I just think that one of the things that's happened with Michelle Bachmann, as you know, is that she's kind of marginalized herself by some of her impromptu statements in the aftermath of the debates. Palin has to be put in that same position. She has to have the opportunity to either make it or fail to make it. And right now she's getting the best of both worlds and making money in the process.
How do you think she'll go? Will she be exposed like Michelle Bachmann if she does get in?
I believe she will be, because I think that if you look at the whole record of her commentary and substance on political issues, it's not very strong.
On the other side of the ledger, what are the odds now that Barack Obama will be a one-term president, do you think?
I think they're a lot greater than they were 6 months ago or a year ago. But I think that Obama is a very calm, self-possessed, disciplined, reasonable person who has a tremendous oratorical ability and has begun to show that one more again, as he did in his campaign. And I think that as he becomes more aggressive, as he essentially takes his case to the country and says, look, the really issue is, do we care about America enough to vote for jobs for Americans? Do we care enough to reduce the deficit, which comes partly from revenue as well as from cutting entitlements? If he makes that case strongly, he's going to be in good shape.
It seems to suggest that he's going to have to win the presidency again on rhetoric again rather than results, because the hostile Congress has not...
There's no way anyone's going to accomplish anything in Congress. It's important to go back, though, and see that in the first 2 years, Obama accomplished a great deal. He did something which over 100 years no one had done, including 7 presidents, which was to create a national health care bill. He ended Don't Ask, Don't Tell. He created the START Treaty and got that through. He did many, many very positive things. Right now, under this current Congress that we've just had this huge deadlock, nothing can happen. It's totally dysfunctional. People don't even talk across party lines. That's not going to change very much. Even if there is a dramatic shift in the 2012 election, it's still going to be a pretty much deadlocked Congress.
Well, let's project a little further even than 2012. You're currently writing a book on the Clintons, not as salacious as this book on Sarah Palin, I should imagine.
I don't think so.
But her popularity really is at a high point. It's been suggested in some polls she's the most popular politician in the United States now. What chance a 2016 nomination for Hillary Clinton and presidency?
Well, she's been very quiet about these issues, holding her counsel, which is sensible, I think. I think there's a remote possibility that the president might decide to ask her to switch jobs with Joe Biden. He's always loved foreign policy. He could become Secretary of State. She could become the vice presidential nominee. If that were to happen, it would enormously strengthen the ticket, and it would also almost guarantee that she would be the nominee in 2016. I think the country is ready for a woman president. I think she'd be a very good one.
And you think she'd accept the vice presidential nomination now?
I think she probably would. She accepted the Secretary of State position when everyone thought she would not, and she said she wasn't interested. I think she responds to the call of duty.
Yeah. Phil Chafe, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you. Pleasure to be with you.
Nice.